Thank you, people of Desperios. You're too kind. I'm sorry I cannot stay and be your new ruler. Worlds to save, despots to upturn, and monsters to confuddle. I will, however, accept your gift of a tankard engraved with my name. Even if you spelt WHeasel wrong. And Doctor too, now I come to look closely.
And are we finally done with this place, Dr. WHeasel? It feels like we've been stuck circling around on Desperios for months.
I know, Advick. Seemed like a flaming eternity. Still, those blue Desperoids were a remorselessly egregious bunch of tyrants. But we deposed them like champions.
A lot of work for a cheap-looking tankard. I know, Doctor, we're not in this hero game for the rewards, but it would be nice to have something a bit more impressive as a door prize.
Don't be a greedy old goose, Advick. I'm sure this'll go for a few quid on eBay. Now, I guess it's back to dreary old Entity H.Q. in 1970s Britain.
Doctor, a message is coming through on the WHeasel's emergency teleprinter. It must be from the brigade leader himself.
Why did I ever let you talk me into installing that wretched thing? Or teach the briggy how to use it?
I believe, he said, having a way to contact us was a condition of the extended sabbatical from your scientific advisor job. And you were too cheap to shell out for a mobile phone contract.
That's not fair, Advick. If I gave the briggy a device from his future, his poor little military brain would have melted out of his ears like Angel Delight atop a radiator.
Not to mention it would have broken the fourth law of time, too.
I can't help but notice you've still mentioned it. Anyway, what's got Entity's khaki knickers coiled up this time? The Queen's been kidnapped by dogmen from Centaurus? Or has the Prime Minister been frightened by an especially warty-looking frog he swears is from Venus?
It says, Dr. WHeasel, grave emergency. Earth under threat of imminent attack from Oh, come on. I'm sorry, Doctor. I think the brigade leader's gone off his medication again.
Wouldn't be the first time. He really drives Dr. Gilbert spare at times. But don't keep this message to yourself, Goose. Read out the rest of it.
Okay, but don't blame me if you don't believe a single word. The message reads, Earth under imminent attack from Santa Claus and his frosty elvish hordes.
Santa Claus? Vicious elves? That Peter fellow, we can't actually mention. Sweet Wait, what's the message's space-time reference date, Advick? Surely it can't be.
It is, Dr. WHeasel. It's from Christmas Eve, which means if Santa's gone rogue, all the tiny children won't get their Christmas surprises. Oh, Doctor, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do, Advick? We're going to pop along and give jolly old St. Nick a smack about the head. Ruining Christmas for everyone. Not on my watch.
From across the infinite cosmos comes the Time Weasel Wanderer, finally returning after months lost in space. But can even the mighty intellect of Dr. WHeasel and whatever companion Advick Goose brings to the mix be enough to save Christmas from an unhinged and newly militant Santa? Unwrap the answer in Dr. WHeasel and the Christmas Star of Fear!
Now, Advick, did the brigade leader happen to provide us with any other useful nuggets of information?
Like what exactly?
Well, Santa's exact location would come in pretty handy. The WheasDis doesn't have a time-space rationalizer for Imagination Land.
Doctor, are you saying you don't believe in Santa Claus?
Look, Goose, what I do and don't believe in could fill a 3-part special on National Geographic entitled WHeasel's Ontological Megastructures. There's a thought. Note to self. See if Jeff Goldblum's interested in some easy voiceover work.
You Yuletide cynic!
Guilty as charged, Goose. So, should I set a course for the North Pole and hope for the best? Or is there some intelligence accompanying this military missive?
Don't be crass, Dr. WHeasel. The brigade leader's provided coordinates which, if I'm reading them correctly, and I have no doubt that I am, indicate Santa is orbiting high above the Earth.
Father Christmas has upgraded from a rustic log cabin to a space station, eh? What does he think he is? Elon Reindeer Musk?
I have no idea who you're talking about, Doctor.
I'll remind you of that next time we're dodging orbital debris in the 21st century, Advick. So, Santa's orbital pad, I imagine, is going to be all candy cane columns and sugar almond walls, right?
Not exactly. Yes. Entity information refers to it as, I'm quoting directly here, Santa's orbiting kill moon. Oh, well, that'd be a tasteful Christmas card illustration.
Santa's kill moon? I'd have thought they'd have called it a Christmas Death Star. Right, Goose, and remember, don't PO the mouse if I want to set up the WHeasel cinematic universe. Setting the WHeasel' destination to the kill moon. Oh, such a lame name.
Attention all cyber elves, the Earth has 1 hour remaining to capitulate to my demands before it's ho-ho all over! Make sure all the destructo sleds are fueled, fully armed and ready for my sleighing ride tonight! No? Anyone? Oh, for Dickens' sake, why do I even bother? Santa out!
Well, this is all about 10 streets north of Gaudy Avenue. Talk about decoration overkill. There's even tinsel on the tinsel. Frankly, even Kirsty Allsop would say it was a bit OTT.
I don't know, Advick. I find all the twinkly lights and glittery baubles rather delightful. Reminds me of the Presidium back on Galloway.
Yes, I've seen some of the Weasley's console room layouts. You've got stored typical garish, nouveau-riche presentations, second nature to you time weasels.
I tell you where you could crumb that comment, Goose, but it's Christmas Eve. And I suspect the subject of stuffing might be culturally insensitive to your people.
Well, never mind all that, Doctor. Where do we go from here?
Well, given the brigade leader's utterly vague directions, I suggest we employ our usual plan A.
Wander around poking your beaks into things that don't concern us until someone apprehends and drags us in front of the authorities. Once, I hoped you'd be trying something which wouldn't leave me quite surprised.
Come off it, Advick. You know 99 out of 100 tyrants are also paranoid egomaniacs. They don't get where they are today without needing to stroke their fragile egos through demonstrating their oratory prowess in front of a captive audience.
I should never have let you take Sigmund Freud and Marshall McLuhan to dinner. You're going to be spouting this half-remembered babble for months.
Shut up, Goose. You're only jealous Wittgenstein. Cancelled. Does this look like an important bit of equipment to you?
Well, I'm no expert on orbiting Christmas battle stations, but if I had to guess,
I believe it's an old-fashioned computer control node, which means we could probably
override the security lockout and use it to piggyback into Santa's information network, and after extracting his plans from right under his nose, use them to identify a crucial weakness in his operations infrastructure and bring his nefarious schemes crashing around his pointy ears.
Sorry, did you say something, Advick? I was too distracted using the sonic crowbar to wreck this thing instead of the internal alarms.
Words, as usual, fail me.
That said, I wonder what happens if I twiddle this thingy a little and then give this gizmo 3 spins to the left. Hey, Advick! A thought just struck me. I could have hacked into Santa's network from here. Why must I have such brilliant WHeasel wheezes 20 seconds too late? Well, why are you looking at me like that? What?
Cease your infestive, destructive activities, intruders!
Wow, Advick, look! Even the Christmas elves are all covered in tinsel and wire and flashing lights and possibly some sort of snow-emitting nozzle?
Doctor, those aren't decorations. It's been cybernetically enhanced. Santa must have converted his whole workforce into cyber elves.
Man alive, Advick. I bet they didn't see that clause in their contract. Look at all those wires coming out from under its hat.
The intruder will refrain from poking this elf if it values its continued existence.
Now there's a statement I didn't expect to hear when I rolled out of bed this morning.
Snow code is now fully energized and I have locked onto your bio-signs, intruder.
Doctor, I'd step back and leave well enough alone. I suspect all your crude interventions will have achieved our goal to meet Santa.
Beats standing in line in a crummy shopping mall, at least.
The intruders will accompany us to the Christmas Command Center. Compliance will be rewarded with a swift and painless death.
Yes, work like a charm. Although that offer hardly sounds like a fair return on my investment, Mr. Cyber Elf. What's the non-compliance alternative?
A slow and protracted demise working in Santa's mega factory on the automated production line.
Employment for life's not to be sniffed at in these tricky economic times. But we'll comply. Go on then, take us to your leader.
Ugh. You know I die a little every time you use that line.
Oh, give over, Goose. The classics are classics for a reason.
Oh, Destructor Sled Bays report near readiness by dark. Christmas load. Present devices are armed, wrapped and loaded. And the atomic reindeer are close to optimal reactor output.
Excellent. I must admit, Cyber Elf Prime, I'm rather hoping the Earth authorities refuse to comply with my demands. It would be a shame to let all these festive packages of doom go undelivered.
Say, because we'd have been searching through the ventilation ducts for hours if we tried that.
Yeah, we'd have had the advantage of surprise and... oh, hello. You must be Santa.
Can I hop into your lap and whisper my secret desires into your ear, old boy?
Oh, don't agree, Santa. The last person he did that to was nauseated for hours afterwards. Why are you glaring at me like that, Dr. WHeasel?
No reason, but you know, maybe getting up close and personal with old St. Nick here when his guard was down might have been part of my cunning WHeasel plan to save the day.
And the Earth too?
Of course the Earth as well, you stupid goose. Now we'll have to fall back on plan B.
Plan B? Oh lordy, is that the one we fall to our knees and beg for mercy?
Ah, glad you've been paying attention, my young apprentice.
If you pair have quite finished. Good. I assume you're the Earth representatives here to crawl before me. Well, you're wasting your time! In a few minutes it's going to be a global domination for me and all the milk and cookies I can consume! Or Armageddon time for everyone else.
Wow. I have met some would-be world beaters in my time, but you take the biscuit, fat boy.
Technically, rodent, people leave the biscuits for me! Now, what's on negotiation starts with you trying to wreck my magnificent orbiting festive death sphere.
Death sphere. Well, it still beats Kill Moon. I am Dr. WHeasel, late of the Time Weasels of Galloway, and currently scientific advisor to the United Nations Special Military Force Entity. I forget what the acronym stands for. I am also no rodent, you chubby wonder.
And I'm Advick Goose, Mr. Claus, his executive personal assistant. Nice to meet you, despite the circumstances.
Really? Executive personal assistant? I always thought you were my intern. Speaking of which, Red Fella, where can the Goose go and find us some coffee? I could murder a cup right now.
There'll be no coffee, no mince pies or stollen either, or eggnog, nor even a hint of cheese board. You too will have to be satisfied with bearing witness to my triumphant victory and the beginning of a new age. The era of Anno Santa commences at midnight.
GMT? Or British summertime?
No eggnog. Advick, this chunky ball of ruddy-hued jelly is seriously unhinged.
Really? And you're picking up on that now, after we've been escorted across his gigantic orbiting kill moon,
Death sphere.
frog march past the atomic robot deer and assorted flying sleigh bombers, by his army of cybernetically enhanced killer goblins.
Cyber elves, Advick. Don't try and keep up.
Keep up, Doctor! All of that, and you'll only engage with the mission once he threatens your precious eggnog. That's when you decide he's a danger.
Far from it, Advick. As soon as I heard the music and realised his interior decoration was by lunatic John Lewis, that's when I realised how utterly unhinged this jolly old elf was.
I'm beginning to suspect neither of you are actually trained diplomats. Were you the only sober ones left after the Christmas party?
My Lord Santa, shall we hurl the intruders out of the airlock into the Yuletide skies?
Wait, let's not be too hasty. Before you condemn us to death, well, condemn the Goose anyway, I've got to get out of dead 3 card, but before all of that, I'm curious, Santa, what made you change from a fabulous figurative fable into an atavistic allegorical assailant.
You mean my transformation from someone annually sliding down chimneys to dispense Christmas cheers to all the good little boys and girls?
And to respectable avio forms too, don't forget.
Shut up, Advick, the grown-ups are talking.
Well, Dr. WHeasel, I shall grant you this one final gift. For my tale is a sorry one, and one best expressed in poetic rhyme. Cyber elves, if you please!
No singing. We tried that 2 Christmases ago and it didn't end well for anyone. Frankly, I'd rather take my chance with the cold hard vacuum. Thank you very much indeed.
Very well, Dr. WHeasel and Advick Goose. There are now no more sleeps before your Christmas doom.
I think you'll find that's pronounced ho-ho-oh. What is the use?
Activating auxiliary program sequence. Destroy the Death Sphere.
No, my loyal cyber elves, what are you doing? You're destroying everything I have worked to create!
And on Christmas too. Yes, you performed the old reprogrammo at some point when no one was paying attention.
Oh, Advick, did you really think I was wasting my opportunity to hack Santa's network and rewrite his cyber elves base code earlier? I was only stalling for time while I downloaded into all his little pointy-eared minions.
You might think you've stopped me, Dr. WHeasel, but nothing and no one will stop me singing my slaying song tonight!
Santa's been buried under all those girders. We can't leave him like this.
Not much chance, me old goose. I think this Death Sphere is about to provide an impromptu Christmas star.
You mean all those munitions and big reindeer are going to explode? Doctor, what can we do?
Leg it back to the waist as fast as our paws can carry us.
I concur. Wait for me.
Run all you want, Dr. WHeasel! Run to the end of the universe or beyond time itself, but know that Santa will always return. And after all this chaos, I'm putting you on the naughty list forever!
Oh, my dear shabby entity laboratory, I have never been so glad to see you. Dirty tea mugs and Advick's drying pants on the radiator and everything.
Doctor, will there be any danger from the wreckage of Santa's Death Sphere?
Nothing the folks of this little world will notice anyway. When I get a second, I shall fly the Wheezes back and sweep up all the worst of the radioactive stuff and, I don't know, dump it on Venus.
That hardly sounds ecologically sound.
Oh, give over, Goose. The Venusian space frogs won't mind. Anyway, right now it's Christmas Eve and I am ready for a party. Shall we see if I can persuade the brigade leader to buy us some drinks down the officer's mess?
Okay, I suppose so, but I've still got one question, Doctor.
Only the one? Must be Christmas.
Was that the real Santa? Why did he want to rule or destroy the Earth? And if so, what does it mean for everyone now that you've blown him to Kingdom Come?
That's 3 questions, Goose. You still can't count, but in the spirit of the season. 1, no, that was probably one of the Eternals or the Enlightened or some other kind of post-corporeal higher beings. You know, the sort who thrive on belief, masquerading as Santa Claus. Secondly, I suspect it was probably all part of one of their inscrutable cosmic games, or maybe about creating a beachhead in the mundane space-time brain.
So, in which case he wasn't really Santa, which means there will be presents for everyone tomorrow after all? Oh, fraptious day!
Yeah, Goose. Now, after all that enforced Christmas cheer and slight danger, I am ready for some proper Christmas cheers. Oh, it reminds me. A Merry Christmas to all those of you at home as well.
Who the heck are you talking to, Doctor? There's no one there.
Isn't there, Advick? Isn't there? Come along, Goose. Last one to the mess buys the first round.
And with that, Dr. Weasel and Advick Goose march off to their Christmas like every other, except for when they inadvertently cross their own timelines and run into future incarnations themselves coming out of the mess toilet later that evening. But that's a story for another day. For now, onwards to a new triumphant year and the next adventure of Dr. WHeasel.
Dr. Weasel's a Weasel Teleaudio Enterprises production, starring Randolph Weasling as Dr. Weasel, Quentin Goose as Advick Goose, Jonathan Wyde as Santa, and Tony Gnovinson as the Cyber Elves.